Can't be singing that.
What were you singing?
New Drake.
New Drake what?
Why can't you timing-wise sing?
Because timing-wise,
Baby girl. This is not gonna come out when it's New Drake. Is what he's
that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
He's saying it's not.
gonna
New Dra-
come
it's
out
not.
when it's New Drake?
It's not New Drake. By the time this
Bars.
episode drops, it won't be New Drake
singing
anymore.
it regardless. Like, I'm confused why you won't sing it. It's out.
Because it's not. He's saying that it's not as relevant when this comes out, but it doesn't matter because it's still out, so you could still sing it.
Sing any song.
Sing the baby girl part. Do it.
Yeah, okay.
Nah, it's okay. The timing's
girl.
off. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Just allow it.
Because
Just
by
allow
the
it.
time this
Sexy
episode comes out, it'll be a
bestie.
classic. I think you should
Oh,
sing it.
yeah,
We got,
you're right.
like Gretzky.
You're right.
I know.
I know.
All right, we ready?
We're rolling.
Come on.
Aren't we ready?
Yeah, we are. Sorry.
We've been ready, no?
I'm ready too.
Hi guys.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Take podcast. My name's Shiv.
I'm MJ.
I'm Sophia.
That felt so weird. Feel like I just haven't done that in a while, so that's good.
We haven't.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, today our episode is about what we're like in relationships and our tendencies, our different mannerisms, habits. How we are as boyfriends and girlfriend type thing. To start off, when I introduce the topic, MJ doesn't really know what attachment styles are, which is not a big deal because I feel like not a lot of people know.
Yeah. Literally,
You don't
could
even
not. How
I want-
attached do you get? Is that a?
I want you to
No.
guess. Give me an answer to what you think. Oh, I just realized I have my glasses on. Wow.
Do you not ever have them on?
Never had these on.
Oh.
That's funny.
Y'all see a different
Wow,
side
the
of Shiv
internet
now.
seeing Shiv with glasses on for the first
Okay.
time?
Yeah, I want you to guess. I'm gonna give you what the names are. So there's 3 different attachments.
No, there's 4.
Styles. What's the 4th?
Disorganized, anxious, insecure, and avoidant.
Insecure.
Or secure.
Okay.
And avoidant.
Okay. So honestly, disorganized not even that. Fuck the
Well,
disorganized.
disorganized is like you shuffle between the other ones.
Okay, well I'm dropping that one's stupid because he didn't
You're
even know what the other
stupid.
ones are. Avoidant attachment.
That's not stupid. Sorry.
I-
It's fine. Avoidant attachment, anxious attachment, and secure is kind of self-explanatory. But give me what you think your definition of avoidant attachment style and anxious attachment style are in a relationship.
Avoidant attachment style is needing your own space.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know, not always needing to be together type thing.
Yeah. Okay.
In a relationship is what I would think it would be.
Yeah.
Right.
You're on the right path.
Anxious. I'm guessing the opposite of it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Do you want me to give little descriptions of them for my thing?
For your what?
I have a little description of them here.
Sure. Yeah. You can
Yeah?
go ahead.
Okay, but you want to? Sorry, are you done your anxious assessment or what?
Yeah, that's the extent of what I could.
Yeah.
That's
That's not that far off though. That's
Okay.
pretty accurate because
Okay.
it's supposed to be based there's a whole theory about it. It's supposed to be based on how your parents treated you as a child. So
Okay.
it's how you received love growing up and what you had and didn't have is dictates kind of how you are in a relationship and how your attachment is
Interesting.
then. So anxious ones, it's they have a fear of abandonment. And people with this attachment style value their relationships highly, but are often hypervigilant towards threats to their security, as well as anxious and worried that their loved one is not as invested in the relationship as they are.
Okay.
That's anxious. And then avoidant is, where is it? They generally avoid intimacy or emotional closeness. They may withdraw from a relationship if they feel like the other person's becoming reliant on them in this manner. They also tend to hide or suppress their feelings when faced with a potentially emotion-dense situation such as conflict.
So are there only cons to these attachment styles?
Well, the whole point of having either attachment style is eventually working to having a secure attachment style where you're not the analogy that I use often when I look at it is both people in a relationship are 2, pillars, whatever. And
Yeah.
the avoidant is almost always leaning away from the partner in terms of conflict, in terms of, how they handle space, how they handle relationship. And the anxious is leaning towards the person.
Okay.
So whenever there's a conflict, the person with the avoidant is I need my space. I need to figure out my thoughts and stuff. So
Okay.
let's not talk for a bit. That's
Right.
what helps them. The anxious is
let's figure it out right
Oh my
now.
God, we're not talking. Are we wrong? Do you not love me anymore? You're about to break up with me in like 2 hours.
Or no,
type
not
shit.
even just that. It's just like there's a conflict. Anxious attachment style is probably like, let's talk it out, let's fix it right now. And avoidance probably like, I need to go gather my feelings and like figure my shit out. And then like maybe they're not jumping to talk to you about it. Maybe they're acting like everything's fine. They're kind of like avoiding you entirely.
Yeah.
But then like the anxious person's like, what's wrong? I know something's wrong. Tell me what's wrong. Like, why can't we talk about this? Like something's clearly off. Like blah, 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 that type of thing.
Their whole like persona or like their whole reason why like they're anxious is like they're overthinking overruns when they're not speaking to their partner.
Okay.
Disorganized is another one.
What is it?
They often struggle identifying and regulating their emotions and tend to avoid strong emotional attachment due to their intense fear of getting hurt. It's also you can have like a cross between this. It's also called fearful avoidant. Which you've probably heard of. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And then the other one is secure, but that's like the
Secure
good
is what
one.
you
That's
aim
like you're
for.
totally fine.
So it's those both pillars you want to be straight and like you want the healthy conversations about, you know what, you can take your time. So the anxious would be like, you know what, take your time to resolve this conflict and gather your thoughts. I'm going to be okay because, you know, I know that you love me and I know that you're still in this relationship because you want to be in it. So I'm not going to let myself be anxious about you needing your space. The avoidant is like, you know what? I don't always need to take my space. I can converse because I trust you. You're in this relationship because you want to be with me. Yeah, like the avoidance. That's what the avoidance is saying, so they don't take their space. Like for both of them to become secure.
Oh yeah, you just need to talk about it.
Yeah, like they can take their space, but they need to understand what the anxious comes from as well. So the biggest thing between both of them is understanding where the other person is and like what they're, you know, like why the avoidant might wonder why this person is constantly asking them questions, why they're constantly like feeling the need to text them like this and that, because for them they need some space, they need a few hours on their own. Like I don't want you to text me, but if they both understand each other, it's almost like, okay, like I know you're texting me because you need a little bit of reassurance from the avoidant to anxious. And then go ahead.
I was gonna say, like for example, like because I would say I lean more on the anxious attachment style, but I've always like gravitated towards the avoidant attachment style, which is like typical kind of.
Yeah, they're both
like,
meant to be attracted.
They're like opposites attract type shit, but
that's just
I can understand
in terms of pillars though. That's just isn't that?
It's like totally a recipe for disaster. Exactly.
That's like
but
running in parallel.
only if the person's not like a rational like person who can level with you and you know you can meet you halfway. The same way that I would have to like chill the fuck out, maybe take a step back and not be so overbearing, is like they would have to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
you guys think it's harder for one attachment style rather than the other, and you're saying I'm assuming the anxious one is harder. Okay.
Yes, but I was gonna say that. Wait, fuck! I lost my train of thought because of that.
My bad.
Wait, no, what were we talking about?
You were saying.
Oh, I can I'm very much of like if there's an issue, I want to deal with it like right now. Like I don't really want to let it ruminate. I want to like figure it out. I'm very much also of like I don't like not knowing what's going on. So if I can sense that the vibe has shifted, I'm like, let's talk about it now. Like don't pretend everything's fine. I hate that shit. I hate when people pretend everything's fine, and I'm like, I know it's not fine. So like, but I also understand that not everyone is like, oh, I want to talk about this right now. Like some people need to like sit there and actually think about what they're feeling and like understand their own emotions before they could talk about it, and they're not like willing. And that's fine with me. All you have to do is just say that. Like you just got to say that to me. You just have to communicate like, oh, I need some time to whatever, gather my thoughts, and like I don't want to talk about it right now, but we will, and then I'm cool. But like that's all I need. But if you were to just not say that to me, like if the avoidant were to not say that to me, then I'm like, then it's a problem.
Okay.
You know what
but
I'm
my
saying?
question is like, wouldn't that make you more anxious? Like if somebody says like, oh, you know, I don't want to talk about it right now, I need to gather my thoughts. Like wouldn't an anxious attractive style be like, yo,
let
like,
me tell you
shit,
exactly why like that
what is
wouldn't
about to-
change. Okay, so
You're gonna be anxious either way.
the whole idea is
Fair enough.
for anxious attachment people with like anxious attachment style. One of your biggest saviors is reassurance, and it's almost become like a topic that sometimes for some relationships is perfect because they both do it so well, and sometimes, especially people who with anxious attachment styles, find it too much to ask for at times because, you know, in a day where a relationship should be like, you know, you look around you, especially on social media, and relationships seem so easy-go-lucky, like everything's fine and dandy. When you are actually in the relationship and you see like how much work you need to put in, you almost seem like you're putting a burden onto the other person, asking for that much reassurance, so to speak. But to answer your question, when the avoidant when the anxious asks the avoidant for, you know, just let me know what you need in terms of the space.
Yeah.
The reassurance shouldn't come as simply a statement or simply like I just need a few hours to gather my thoughts. Like that is valid, especially if that's what the anxious understands as their way of communicating. But especially like as someone you're in a relationship with, if they care enough to add like don't worry, I know you're a bit like whatever anxious right now.
We're
I
fine.
just need a few hours to think, but we're fine.
Yeah.
If you need to text me, I'll reply.
Yeah.
I just need to think right now. So like let's not have this conversation about this conflict right now. But if you need anything else, I'm right here. Or maybe I just need a few hours on my own, like distract yourself, but don't worry, I still love you, like nothing's changing.
The way
like,
Fair enough.
that never affects those words are never going to affect the avoidant in terms of like if they're actually feeling that way, might as well express
Yeah.
it. If you're not sure, don't express it, then that's a whole different problem. But
Right.
if you feel that way, then express it because for the anxious, those words mean like the world. Like that changes how the next hours go for them.
For like the way I think about it is like I'm gonna be.
Okay, no, I just like.
No, I know exactly.
This is the
I
like.
can't believe you've never heard about this stuff.
No,
before.
I can explain
never-
exactly
like-
why he's never heard about it though.
Why?
Like,
Yeah, because
I'm
you're
waiting to
worried
get
about
into
this
it. I'm waiting to get into
Okay,
it.
Okay.
but the way I think about it is like, okay, I'm gonna be anxious either way. Not gonna lie. So it's like my job, right? I already know I'm an anxious person. My job is not to like put that onto you. It's just like those are my own feelings that I have to deal with, and it's not your burden to bear as well. So the way I can diminish it is by knowing, like you saying to me, like, oh, we're fine. I just need to like take however long to whatever. Like I just need some whatever. We'll be fine, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Just like I need my space. Like it's not because I don't know, don't like fuck with you anymore. I just need space to think about my shit, and then we can talk about it.
Right.
If I'm gonna be anxious that there's a conflict. Period. Doesn't matter, like whatever. But I would be worse if you just didn't say anything and pretended it was fine, and I was like, oh my god, I literally know something's wrong, and you're like telling me what it is. Like,
Okay.
I see, okay.
So I think we've like as we've been getting into it, we've learned that you lean anxious.
Yeah.
But like you also say like you can sometimes become avoidant.
Yeah, I'd be avoidant though too.
That's valid.
But that's because like once like the thing with anxious is or whatever, it's like you don't want to feel like you're more invested than the other person. Once I feel that way, then I'm like I want to run away. Like
okay.
I want to like I'm dipping. I
Okay.
hate that. I hate that
Interesting.
so
I'll get
much.
to be last. I think for me, as long as I've known you, as long as I've known your relationship and like whatever, like as much as I know about it, you are genuinely, I think, one of the only like handful of people that I can count on my hands who are like secure, which
Really?
like sometimes pisses me the fuck
'Cause,
off.
No,
Like,
the reason why is like the reason why I'm a little confused with this conversation is that like I don't see myself fitting in either anxious or avoidant.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's not like I don't talk about things if I don't want to,
That's
or like
because you're not that.
yeah. But like it's also like I will never like badger you trying to see what's going on. You know, like I will never do that.
yeah.
It would just be like. But I
What's that
also
like?
don't think it's not always like
Fucking roses and daisies.
it's also it's not it's also like I don't necessarily know all the time when I'm like
yeah.
when I should or when I shouldn't
Yeah.
engage in a certain conflict, right?
Yeah.
And I also don't take a lot of conflicts to heart
Yeah,
per se.
because you leave them on the table as it's a conflict that we
Yeah.
must solve together.
Exactly. And I
Okay,
don't
yeah. When I say like literally, like I think that's why I enjoy having you as my best friend so much, is because like I'll look at a rational person every time I look at you. Every time I look
Fair
at you
enough.
in terms of relationship, like
I
why I come
appreciate
to you
that.
for
Thank you.
advice is because when I get into it, I'll get into it. But like I am very much like 100% anxious trying to go secure. Like I think I've gotten better, obviously, and I handle like I think I've got a really good handle on my overthinking and my anxiety and like how I feel in a relationship when my significant other is definitely avoidant.
Right.
You know, I'm super communicative and I'm super open about even these conversations in and of itself, and I use them as a medium for me to figure out myself as well. Like I'll talk about these styles with my partner, and using these conversations, I'll be like, okay, like how do we get better? Like this is what I'm gonna do to change my anxious attachment styles, and like, you know, I'm gonna always like constantly tell myself that like you do love me, you are in this for a reason. If you weren't, you would leave. Like no one is ill-intentedly, not no one, but hopefully you're a good enough person that you're not in this for ill intent to just be in it to be in it. You actually enjoy being with me, so I'm gonna keep reminding myself of that, even if you sometimes fail to show me that. But you've done a great job reassuring me. That's how I am. But when I look at you for the longest time, like you and your girlfriend have always been to me like, you know, a team. And that's like I think when I first got my value of like that criteria and looking for a relationship of like it's me and you against the problem, I definitely got it from you. Because I feel like I'm fucking glazing right now, bro. Like I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Okay.
Yeah, hop off, bro.
It's just that is why I want to talk
No,
about it, because
fair
like
enough,
that's like such a big reason why I know you don't know these conversations, because it's not
You
a
don't have to
bad
think
thing.
about it.
Yeah,
It's not a bad-
It's like when I think about like the situations in our relationship is not. I guess we don't have that with like in mind when we're talking about it. Like, when we're talking about certain things.
Yeah.
It's not like, like I understand that I'm like a little bit too anxious about the situation. I'm gonna give you a little bit of space so we can talk about it. It's more so like we've had a system for so long that it's kind of
that's what I was gonna bring up.
like the way we work things out has always been very like routine.
Yeah.
And it's worked. And obviously like there's bigger conflicts, there's smaller conflicts like and stuff like that in a relationship. So certain times it like there's certain measures that need to be like replaced in terms of our routine.
Yeah.
But like at the same time,
It's like-
the way we've resolved things has always been, you know, when we need to talk about the things, we talk about it, you know, and that's like
It's like fixing a bad part in a already well working machine anyway.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
it's like you
that's-
guys already know the blueprint for. I think why I quote. I think I have two reasons why I quote you as like, especially when I talk about you to other people, like why I quote you as such a secure person in your relationship. The first reason is that you and
that's fine.
have we dropped it before?
I think we have.
We have named
You and Alex have been, first of all, together for like quite a few years now, since the start of high school. And back then, man, in grade 9, 10, these things were real and like these things were like around in conversation, but they weren't in conversation in terms of like we see this every day on social media, especially me. Like I learn a lot of this through social media, but back in grade 9 and 10, I wasn't learning this stuff. So all I can really look at you guys and say back then was like, you guys had such a good layout of how you're going to handle relationships and how you're going to handle problems in your relationship.
I feel like the way, and this is not a knock to like like the attachment styles and stuff like that. It's just I think the way we came into our relationship was very like natural. In terms of like we kind of had to figure things out along the way ourselves.
Exactly.
Never, like,
you grew together.
Yeah.
You were like two young people who almost never had like. You didn't know going into when you were starting dating Alex whether you were anxious or avoidant. Like that was never a thing. You guys just grew together, and that was a big. That's the first reason. Another reason is I've met your parents, and I think like your upbringing is actually like a whole different breed. Like,
I would
it's
say
amazing.
my parents are very
Big
secure,
reason why I
very
quote like
secure in
how
their
secure you
relationship.
are is they're amazing. Like I look at I look at them and like I'm like that's like such a big reason why I look at you how you are is because like your upbringing was so well, you and your brother or whatever.
No, for sure.
I don't want to talk too much about it, but like those two reasons is why I've like constantly look at you as like someone who's like the one secure pillar or like one of the only secure pillars in my life who like I can go to for secure advice. Yeah, go.
You have a thought?
On the attachment style thing, I don't think it's like a thing that everyone needs to
like delve into
use,
ever.
whatever.
Yeah.
I just think
Or
it's
use.
more of like a like the same way it's like I guess you could look at love languages similar. It's just like it's a way to better understand yourself and like you can kind of like, understand where certain feelings of yours are coming from, and if you can understand like kind of which one you fall into, maybe it's easier to like resonate with certain people and like
Fair
you
enough.
know
Yeah, no,
It's a
that
tool
makes
to
kind
use
of
if you-
understand how it all fits together. It's just a way to better understand yourself. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you have to like you know
like,
or
it's
you
not
have
a
to use it.
necessity.
You don't need to know what the hell you are to like work in.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You guys have your own ways of.
If you
doing shit.
feel like sometimes you have inexplicable problems when you get into a relationship, these are tools that can help you sometimes explain why.
Exactly.
But if you don't feel like you have those problems, then you never need to delve, which is why I always like.
Fair enough,
Like that's the
fair
way I
enough.
see it personally. Like
that makes
okay, like getting into myself now.
like I know we talked about like like I know about like love languages and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. We've
I've
talked
never
about that a bunch.
Like talked about really
Attachment styles.
attachment styles.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That was very new to me. I was like, what?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't know. I've always not always been, but I think I learned that I was an anxious attachment style a few years ago, and I have been working on it ever since. I've I've always kept my anxiety and like my overthinking has always been like on my face. Like I'll talk about it with anyone, any place. Maybe that's a bit of oversharing, but like I do it. I enjoy it. Because I always think I have healthy conversations about it, especially when I'm speaking to someone else. When I'm alone, however, that's when things kick into overdrive and like my overthinking goes off the rails. So that's my prime. That's my biggest factor into my anxious attachment style. My overthinking on my own is very like I've kept it under control, but it's such a driver into why I do such certain things in relationships. I'm someone who would really appreciate in a relationship constant reassurance. I'm like, if it doesn't take a lot out of your day to text me, miss you, or like,
Yeah.
you know, I love you, I'm thinking about you, I'm busy today, but I'll be thinking about you. I'll take that a single sentence at like noon on a day. I'll take that to the end of the day because I know like that was when you thought about me. You did something about it to think about me, and then now you've gone about your day, but you've told me you're gonna be busy, so I'm fine. You let me know
Like
whatever.
You get your fix for the day.
Yeah, I'm good.
That was
I think
It's like your morning cup of coffee.
Yeah. For me,
exactly.
I think I also appreciate that because I'm someone who like. This is just something I've like let myself do, but like in a relationship, I do that without needing to be asked. Like for me, even if the person is secure or avoidant or anxious, whatever they are, I don't need them to tell me. Like I'm very much like
you want to let them know.
I will like I'll update you. I'm always gonna tell you how much I appreciate you, the compliments, this and that, whatever. Like I'm a very, very communicative person, which is why when we get into it, I attribute like my top 3 love languages, like words of affirmation is in there.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
because I use my words a lot to make sure the people that I love know that they feel.
But I also
like I will
value
always.
words a lot. I feel like we're the exact same.
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
So like
I know.
both reception.
So
and,
what sucks
like,
though is as much as I give
lot of people
in
aren't
that,
like that.
I don't ever like I don't
You don't
receive a
receive it
lot.
as
Like,
much.
I'm not mad about
But,
it. It's just like the
that's-
right person.
I feel like that's the thing about love languages is
Yeah.
that it's not always reciprocal. Yeah.
It's not a
just because like other people have different ones, right? So it's not
Wow, this feels
I feel like that's in terms of that you have to kind of expect less
Yep.
Yeah.
You
from
gotta
a certain
It's the whole purpose of
category,
you got to
right?
give more than you take in the end of the day. Like,
Exactly.
I'm always
exactly.
a giver over a
I have
taker.
a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How much do you think is reasonable to expect someone to meet you halfway? Like if their love language isn't words of affirmation,
So
at what point do you think it's like, okay, they can make an effort, but then at what point is it like too much? Like they shouldn't be trying that hard to like change. Like if that's not them.
At one point, is it too much for
them to
them?
be trying.
Yeah, or like just for
Or too
anyone,
much
even
for
for
you
you.
to
Like
ask.
let's say their love language is like I don't know, like quality time or physical touch, but like
Yeah.
you're more of like a words, like whatever. And you know, you'd probably try to naturally meet them halfway, but like at what point is it like I'm
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
You're changing.
Like at what point is it like this isn't working? Like you know?
I think I have a weird answer for that. Like, so the way I see it, maybe I could talk about this forever.
Yeah,
The way
this
I
is so
see it
crazy.
is, especially in love languages, when you're in a relationship, your love languages and their love languages are separate in terms of you give them the love the way they should be receiving love, the way
Yeah.
they tell you that they want it.
Yeah.
If my girlfriend tells me her love languages are acts of service, I'm going to go out of my way on a day-to-day basis for the little things because acts of service isn't like literally go take my car every day and get the oil changed and wash it. Acts of service is like
That's a
when
good,
you come
that's a
see
good
me,
service. Though.
yeah, it's a very good service. Do it like every month or something. But when you see me, like, like this is like something that's near and dear. But like, oh, like we're going to bed or whatever. Like you fill my water up almost all the time when it's empty. That's a really good act of service that like girls enjoy all the time. So on the other end is me like my languages, my love languages. I think I always mix, but I'm very much a physical touch and words of affirmation.
What are
person.
sorry? What are the? There's 5, right?
There's 5. Physical touch, words of affirmation,
gift giving,
quality time,
and
acts of service.
acts of service.
Yep. So me, I always appreciate like when we're out, like, the girl that I'm with, holding on to my arm. That's such a big physical touch thing. That's not intimate.
Ooh.
It's not sexual. It's not too overly romantic. It's not overly public PDA. It's something that shows me the love that I need in physical touch version. But to a point where you're not over exceedingly like making out with my face in public. You don't have to do that. You just
I'm
grab
such a
me.
like when we're out in public,
Please
even
don't
with
do
our
that.
friends. I'm like if you walk by me like tap my back or something. Like it's just like a let me know you're thinking about me. Like let me know it's like like I know you're here, I'm here, whatever.
Yeah.
Like but it's not like PDA. It's not like overly sexual. Exactly, but it's just like a
So to answer your question, I don't think there's like a limit on meeting someone halfway. I think as long as they're showing you your love in the way you need it and you're showing their love, you guys are constantly filling each other's reservoirs of like how love
No, I'm
you
saying,
feel.
but what if that's like, what if I'm like words of affirmation, they're not?
And they're not doing. Oh, they're not.
Yeah, and it's like, at what point is it like, can't
so what
do
they
that?
need to understand.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, go ahead.
What they need to understand though is that your love language is the words of affirmation and theirs isn't. But what they're doing is giving love. They're not receiving it.
Yeah, but not everyone's like that.
I know, you're right.
And there's certain people, like for example, some people don't like physical touch.
But do you guys
right?
like
That's a different one.
actively?
I
Do
get
you
what
guys
you're saying.
actively like tell your significant other what your love language is? Like,
So,
is that
I
like?
feel like that's a conversation that I think
again,
is important to
again,
have.
I don't have that conversation.
Yeah, but
'cause-
maybe you guys have in other words. Like you clearly have
You
had
do.
conversations about what you have want. Like I think everyone has had the conversation in one way or another, whether they called it like my love language.
You're right.
You've had
You're
conversations about what you like, what you don't like,
Especially
what
like
you
this.
want, what you
This
don't want.
goes back to the fact that like you guys started so early. So like
Yeah.
back then the conversation was never.
No one was talking about love language.
What of the
exactly.
Yeah.
No one knew what that shit was. Like
Yeah, fair enough. So
To answer that question, what was I just gonna say? Okay, so here's the thing. So like, I'm trying to answer both in the same
jumping
thing.
back and forth.
But so imagine someone's love language, like my love language is physical touch, or like let's say
physical touch is a really easy
It's a really easy
example,
one to
'cause a lot of
explain.
people aren't either one or the other.
So imagine mine's physical touch, right?
Yes.
And the girl doesn't really like physical touch that much, or she loves it when like she loves it in abundance, but she doesn't like it all the time.
Yeah.
So all it takes like to solve both of these problems is for her to explain to me, hey, like I know you love physical touch, I know that's your love language, but like I'm not always overly like I get overstimulated if we like
But
you
it
know
doesn't
whatever.
mean I don't love you,
But it
like,
doesn't mean I
blah,
don't love you. And also, hey, when we're napping, we don't have to be like over each other cuddling like when we nap. If we're sleeping on either end of the bed and like our hands are touching,
Yeah.
that 100% of the physical touch person satisfies my need,
Yeah.
and that also doesn't overstimulate her. So it's like there's ways around it,
Yeah, you're right. There's ways around it.
and there's
There's
always easy
I think
conversations
there's
to
always
have.
a compromise.
There's
I
happy
didn't mean
medium.
that. I just mean that
100%.
I think also it has a lot to do with the willingness of the person. Like I think that you can only get as far, like you can only progress as far in that sense as the person wants to. Like you can't if someone doesn't want to change or want to like be better or whatever, then it's lost cause. Like you can't make someone do that, you know?
Yeah.
fair enough.
Also, like another key word that I use in these conversations is understanding is so big.
Yeah.
I will always like I've said this in a previous episode already, but understanding to me is so big, especially in conflicts, in love languages, in attachment styles. If you tell me something and you come to me with something that's worrying you, whether it involves me or not, my first step is always I understand. I'm like trying to understand and fully like take in what they're saying to you. Listen, and they're not coming to you for advice, or maybe they are. They'll vocalize that. But the first step is the person wants to know that they're being heard and you're there to understand, even if it has to do with you like being the conflict. Understand first and then move on together, because like I've seen this in myself even like completely recently, but like when someone brings something up to me and like my immediate reaction might be, you know, flare up, get a little bit emotional, get a little bit sensitive about it, but then I'll take 30 minutes to an hour to sit with myself and like basically what I do in my head is like understand it from her POV, and I keep repeating that to me, and then I'll run it through like how she might have felt and like how, you know, what's going on.
I feel like you're really good at that, like in friendship, like just in any kind of
I
conflict.
try.
You're
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good at just kind of like getting where they're coming. Like
I like stepping out of my body and looking at it from like I think that's a big thing, like because at the end
Like
of the
an
day,
empathy
if
from
in
like
all
an
sorts of
empathy
conflicts,
thing.
if you can always look at it from what the other person's coming from, there will never be like beef or like anger or
Yeah,
like,
you just have to hope the other person can do the same thing. I think
Yeah,
it's
which-
so important to be able to like remove yourself and see it
100%.
from like the outside.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I understand. Like to first say, I see you, I hear you, I hear what you're saying, or whatever. And like, even though I see and hear you, I still feel this way about whatever you said or whatever, and like, we figure it out from there. I think
Okay.
that's important.
That's so deep. I love this
that's true.
conversation.
That's true.
This is so vibes. It's like my favorite episode we've ever recorded. I feel so wholesome right now. My heart's filled. Okay. All right. Let me switch the topic to like something a little less deep if we want to. Because
Okay.
we'll get
I feel
deep
like
again.
also the attachment styles is so rooted in childhood stuff that like,
Oh,
but
100%.
that is
I
maybe
can't
too
get
deep.
there.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
too deep.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
we'll-
I'm
maybe
not
we'll
gonna lie.
park
Y'all
it.
gotta wait like 100 episodes
Yeah,
till I
we
get
need
to
to wait,
that.
like, give us a
That's
while.
exactly why I was
I
avoiding
was really
that.
like, wait, are we gonna go there or
No,
not go there?
I was
don't
not
know.
gonna let it go there.
That's
Can't do
we'll
that.
for
park that,
y'all.
we'll park
Yeah,
that.
that's for y'all.
Sorry,
Okay.
less deep. What was that?
Before we get deep again, what do y'all think about soft launching, hard launching? Now,
Ooh.
no, hold on. I'd
Alright,
like to preface again to the viewers that my brother here is prehistoric,
Can I
ancient.
explain
Soft launching,
Like,
great
bros,
lines.
yeah, this guy's never
Look
been
what
through
hard
any of the
launch-
modern like.
No, like
You know
honestly,
what they, you know.
he
all
does
the
obviously.
honestly, this may be like counteracting the whole podcast, but I don't really have like that much of a social media presence, especially in terms of.
He really
He
does
talks
it.
on the internet once. a
Yeah,
week.
like
Okay.
like I don't really
For the
post
whole world
anything.
to see, and
I don't
that's
post anything on my
Whole world.
Instagram. I don't
Yeah,
post
no, you're
anything on
pretty-
TikTok,
you're
stuff
pretty
like that. So like,
Yeah. Even though you very well
the
could.
idea of like soft launching and hard launching is cool. I love that.
Yeah,
and I love
it's
when
kind of a-
like
Which one?
I love
Both?
both.
Oh, you like
both.
both?
Yeah, I like both. Like I love the idea of like new couples and stuff going into the like subtly dropping shit like subliminals on their stories or something like that. It's cute, you know.
Yeah.
Me personally, yeah, like I've never kind of done that. It's
Yeah, 'cause it's like-
in grade
'Cause
9,
you're
nobody
just-
knew it.
Everyone
Back
knew.
then it was like,
Everyone
when are you
knew.
gonna post your girlfriend, bro? Like,
It's literally that. Yeah, it's
Oh,
literally
yeah,
that.
okay, well.
Yeah, but like honestly, I love it. It's really cool to see, and like low key, it's like a lot of people match it with their feed too.
Yeah,
and that's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, low key, like y'all cooked here.
Yeah.
Like, and I see TikToks of like, oh, the best soft launches.
Yeah.
here, and like that you could do and stuff like that. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
a cool thing. But again, like, never really experienced that in that
Yeah,
way.
true.
I would say. So I just see it from an outside perspective. It's cool.
I think it would be funny to me if you and Alex just one day decided like, yo, let's just soft launch each other again.
Soft launch again,
Like,
yeah.
like just soft launch
like-
for like 4 months.
It's like
but
renewing-
everyone
Wait, that'd
knows
be
we're
really
together.
funny. You
It's like
Everyone
the-
knows we're together.
But
It's like
you
the
guys do
relationship version of
post-
like renewing your vows.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like-
Let's
Wait,
just soft
like-
launch us.
Even when you guys do, like everything that I've ever
Yeah,
seen
every
you
once
post
in a
has
while.
been low key soft launch vibes.
Yeah,
And
every
No,
once
it's
in a
just
while.
like
day she
yeah.
dropped his full face on
sorry, I didn't
ski.
see- oh,
you
well,
saw
then
that,
I-
right?
Oh yeah, shoot, yeah.
Well,
That was a
but
hard
like
launch.
you
Yeah,
reposted
yeah.
it, and it was
That
like
was a hard
it was
launch.
just her.
Yeah, that was a hard
That's
launch.
true, actually. I guess.
But like again, like
I was
No,
thinking
I know,
about it 'cause
every
I
once
saw
in a
it
while,
from
like,
your
you won't-
story as a repost, so I was like, oh,
I think
like
it would be
Yeah,
so
fair
funny.
enough.
it was
if
a
you
girl
guys
who
decided,
posted
like,
him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
But I
Like
think
whenever we post each other for the next 4 months, let's just keep it a little low key. I think that'd be so funny.
Yeah,
to me.
yo,
Like,
it would
like,
literally
yeah,
just be like, yo, 4 years later.
like
let
give me
me
your
go-
hand. Like you should take a picture of me.
At the end of
you
the day, though-
guys have been together for 7 years, bro. Like
Yeah.
I actually think I get pissed if you did it without me bringing up the idea. Like if
Yeah,
you
fair
already
enough.
started to do it,
No,
I'd be
no,
like,
no,
you're a
you-
fucking pain in the ass.
No, definitely 100% we go. 100%
At the end of the
we
day,
go.
though, it's just about like them knowing you a man or a girl or whatever, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
people know. Like it's not even necessarily about knowing.
Okay, so go ahead.
I think I like them both, but I think that I will always favor a soft launch over a hard launch unless you're like famous.
I
and
think
then it's,
soft
like,
launches are cooler.
I think
They're
they are
just, like,
cooler.
yeah.
I think and
they are
also
the
like,
new.
It leaves people
like,
guessing like, yo,
I was-
what's all right?
Recency
so, like,
bias, eh,
I was
bro?
trying to
Recency bias.
I was trying to relate this like historically, but I feel like I can't think of like if I ever did like a hard launch or a soft launch before. So I can't even like.
you kept your boyfriends under wraps.
No, I didn't.
I'm
No, I
kidding.
never
I'm
did. But it was just like I can't remember
then-
like one or the other happening. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was also like I was never like big on like Instagram stories and things like that. But like now I'm more like I'll do all that. But I'm a sucker for a soft launch. I think a soft launch is really cute.
Okay.
And like
Yeah.
and also like I feel like it feels mature. Is that
Yeah.
weird? Is
No,
that weird?
I think
like I feel like
so.
it feels
It's
mature.
like-
it
I
feels
think-
kind of
I
like
Like the whole concept of
I like
what's
the
that?
I like the kind of idea of like a like the subliminal shit. It's like like she posted flowers on her story. Okay, cool. Or it's
Where
like
they from?
oh she's at dinner and it's like it's like 2 plates, but like it
Who's it
doesn't
with?
show who's it with.
yeah,
Or it's like
yeah, fair
like
enough.
there's somebody's like shoulder in this photo, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
cool.
who is that? I love that.
Yo, why? Ain't no way this guy just
me
eed.
excited.
This guy eed.
You're
This guy
excited.
Nah,
Like, I
bro, what
love
the
that
fuck,
shit.
bro?
Look, someone took us over to the
I'm
table
clip
or
farming right
something.
now.
Like, bro, someone
Yo,
grabbed your ankle.
Abdu,
or
get,
what?
I'm clip
get from
right now,
underneath
bro.
the table, bro. Chill, relax.
Okay.
No, what the
No,
hell?
I love that.
So you
bro,
like- so
I'm-
you love a soft
brother.
launch.
I am like, so in the past, I've only ever hard launched, been
Yeah,
hard launched.
I was about
and
to
hard
say
launched.
I've only
Like-
seen hard lunch.
And like I'm like,
Yeah.
it's been fun. Like I love it. Let me let you know that
I think
have
it's
a
fun to be like, hey.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I think
like,
it is kind of
yeah,
cool
we
to
out
do that
here.
with
But I
Yeah.
think, bro,
Fair
like
enough.
if a girl goes out of her way to like take the time, curate a post, be like, hey, like just get your hand in this picture, post me on our Instagram story.
That's cool.
Like it gets like me in darkness, you
Yeah.
know.
It makes you eat. It makes you eat. Yeah, see, like, bro, what
I
the
love
fuck,
that
bro?
shit,
why is
bro.
it like vibrating?
Man,
bro?
what the
Bro, I was born for the sole purpose of being a boyfriend. I promise you. Like I'm fucking like I'm a boyfriend guy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like to know that a girl wants me enough and loves me enough and like enjoys my presence enough that she wants to soft launch me and like tell her
Okay.
friends
I have a
about
good
me.
question.
I have
Oh,
I
you
have a
go.
question as well.
Anyways,
I would
me,
say
me love that shit, bro.
me
Go ahead.
yeah him love that shit.
Go ahead.
My
Love
question.
Don't forget your
My question is don't forget it. My question is
I'm bookmarking.
out of all the soft launches you've seen, like type of soft launch would be like? Did you find the coolest, or did you think was like, wow, that's fucking fire?
Everyone I'm thinking of is also
I'm, like, smiling the
famous
whole
Like I keep going to like famous people, right? So it's like it's like their fans
that's
like
what I
took
mean,
all
like-
the Easter eggs and like psychoanalyzed shit, so it's a little bit different. But like I love like what I was saying, like I love it when people post like they post flowers and it's like who got them the flowers, or it's like they posted dinner. It's like
right.
I
it
love
was
a
clearly
flower
like
one.
it's clearly like they were out with two but it's like who was the other person? Like was it their girlfriend? Was it like a guy?
I'm gonna
Was
be
it-
honest. My understanding of a soft launch was probably different then, because I thought like, okay, some part of
Their
her
body.
or him has like.
Well, no,
No,
that,
you're
that's
right.
it
You're
could be
still
like
right.
it could be a
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
of like you holding hands, but it's not their face.
You're still
Or
right.
It's
Like you are like
it's like
just
you're
one.
teasing that you have
yeah.
a man or you have a girl or whatever, but
Right,
you're not
right,
saying
right.
who
It's
it
just
is.
always like just the fact that
Yeah.
you know.
It's like a double. Yeah.
But-
Okay.
Okay, then I guess my
Because
answer to
like
your
I'm
question.
saying like okay like there's a hand in the picture. Oh, whose hand is that?
Okay,
like,
then-
That is-
or, like,
then
you
I'm,
guys are
I
still
have
right,
an answer to
whatever.
your question. Then my answer to
Yeah,
the question
yeah.
is that like instead of going straight to like there's a hand in the picture or there's a person in the picture, it's more like there's something alluding to there being a person, but there is no person. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right. Yeah.
And then you get into like pictures where it's like there is like part of a person.
Part of
like
a person.
So hers
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
the,
It's like a
the prologue.
Yeah, it's like
soft
it's like,
launch. Yeah.
Like
okay, part one,
hella
part two,
soft
part
launch.
three. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, like
Yeah, like it's
It's like a crescendo of
It's a
launches.
crescendo.
It's a crescendo.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that shit.
That's
bro.
my-
piano to
yeah.
forte launch. Yeah.
I
Exactly,
love that
exactly.
shit.
All right, I
okay.
see.
Me, bro.
Me?
I think mine is a little bit like here and there. Like I love what if I get a girl flowers.
All right, wait.
I have to calm down.
Stop.
I can't stop smiling.
Yo,
right now.
yo. There you go. There you go.
Having a good time.
If I were to
No, you're good.
If I were
You're
to,
good. It's fine. It's fine,
if
bro.
I were to get a
If I were
girl
to,
flowers and she like posted the flowers that I got, I'm like, I'm gonna get you flowers every 3 weeks, bro. Like, I got
You
you.
should do that anyway,
No, I know.
just for fun. Don't let that shit die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
If
Just
you've got
because
the
flowers.
facilities
That's
for
what they're
that.
called. Just because flowers. Wait,
Just
go ahead.
because flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, just because
No,
flowers, bro. Bring that back.
Continue.
Okay, yeah. People do it.
Bring that back.
Okay.
I feel like I guess people
another
do
thing
that.
that I
It's
like
never
is
been
like
gone.
if you and your significant other go out and like the guy, so the picture's like you guys are leaned up against a wall or like a table or whatever, and you guys are maybe like wearing similar fits. And
Okay.
like the girl takes the picture from like inside his feet and his feet are outside.
those are
I like
cool.
that one.
Those are
I like
cool.
that
I
one.
want
Yeah.
that so bad. Like I want like matching shoes and matching pair of nice.
That was cool.
denim.
That's
No, I actually fuck with
Yeah.
that. I fuck with the matching fits.
And
I
then
would say-
I'll also say that I really like when like it's a low ambiance of like the
Like
videos in low ambiance.
there's a candle.
Like,
like,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
dark,
Yeah.
And, like,
Low
the
exposure.
figure, like you have no idea, but they're there.
Yeah,
in the
they're there.
video.
Yeah.
They're there.
I'm
The
like,
presence is
yeah,
there.
give me that.
I will say those are good. Those are good. I will say the ones that I've seen recently and like is very close to me too. So the ones that I've seen recently have been like it's like
soft launch too.
scenery. Don't worry about it, bro.
The fuck?
We'll
The
talk about it
affiliate.
after.
Oh,
what is it?
Yeah.
We're not gonna name
the
drop.
beach. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's like there's wow, that's crazy.
wait,
that's
what?
crazy.
We're
No,
cool
it's
with
fine.
it.
It's
Fill
fine.
me in
We'll-
after. Fill me in after.
Yeah. But what's it called? Like the ones of scenery.
We're too cold with it. Yeah, that was hard.
Like in the background and stuff like that, and like the person just in front, like looking like that way.
like
you
it's
know what I
their
mean?
back.
Like
It's their
looking
back.
at the
I'm like,
scenery.
you did
It's
that
like
shit,
their
bro.
back and then like the view.
Yeah, the picture of her, his back,
Yeah.
True.
looking at the view,
That's
or like
kinda cool, yeah.
walking in the distance.
Oh,
and
it was
the
cool.
scenery. You know, that's
Yeah.
fire.
I
That's
fuck with photos like that too,
that's a
especially
fire
like
soft launch.
yeah. I also I like to take pictures of people all the time. So
The
like,
reason why I like that one too is that like
That's a good
okay,
one.
say the boyfriend's taking the picture. The boyfriend can use that as a soft launch, and the girl can also just use it as a photo. Yeah, like, so
Yeah.
it's like, and then if the nosy people that dive deep into it
Yeah.
can like click
It's
on it,
not
they'll be
hard,
like,
yeah.
okay, wait, hold up.
like who is that?
Oh wait,
yeah.
I've seen this photo before. Hold up, let me go.
It's on her Visco. It's
yeah,
on her
exactly.
Instagram. Yeah.
So that,
Okay.
those ones are
Damn. Okay.
those ones are fire.
What was your question?
My question was gonna be about in a relationship, how, like, what do you feel about, and also how are you like in terms of posting your significant other? Because I know you already said you're kind of like low key, whatever. Like people know.
I don't like
You're not shy,
I will
right?
post. Like it's not
Yeah.
like
Just the fact that
I'm
it's social
against
media
posting.
presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't really
You posted
post.
Valentine's Day?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but like, did she?
No.
So then,
no,
oh.
yeah.
But
That's
also,
what I'm saying.
I think
Like,
that
we
that's
don't.
like it's a thing. If you guys are both cool, then who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like we both know that. Like we don't like.
Yeah, you guys have also
typically
been together for
post
so
too much.
long.
Yeah,
This
it's like,
is fucking
it's whatever.
secure
It doesn't
attachment
really-
people. Like it's not the same. You can't relate. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
not the same
It doesn't.
shit.
It doesn't really matter to me.
Y'all
like,
are like married already. It's okay. Like it's like not the same. Like
no, it's, no.
yeah, I don't know.
The way I see it is like I will post. I
Yeah.
just don't post in general.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not like it's not something that I do. But like, yeah, that doesn't mean that I don't, you know.
Yeah.
I think
Is
I'm
it
like
go to your
a-
way to post, or like just like a when it comes up you will.
I think when I'm in a relationship, I'm strictly like I'll express early on that like I want to post you like however
Yeah.
much. Like I want to post you a lot. But if you don't want if you don't want to be posted, or if you don't want to post a lot, like on my level, I'll tune myself
Yeah.
to you. I'm like good with like the volume that the other person wants. If we're out to dinner, I'll post you like I could post you like every single day type shit if I
Yeah.
needed to. But I could also post you like every month type shit, which is not
Yeah.
a big deal to me. I'm also someone who like I'm a very like documentative person. Like I like
me
taking
too.
pictures, I like taking videos.
Yeah, see,
So-
that's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's also why. Like, I don't
see. Is she?
take pictures. Like,
Not really.
more than me,
Yeah.
but like not really.
Yeah.
Like, I just do not take pictures. I have
Yeah.
about 200 pictures in my camera roll, and I save the rest for like the people around me who have more storage space than me. That's
I
that's
feel
just
like
what
you're
it
also
is.
at a point too, probably where it's like you don't feel the need to document everything because it's like you've been doing it for so long,
Yeah, like
and it's like you could just like enjoy each other's
the
company. You
thing
don't have
is,
to take a photo of it.
well, that's also the thing. Like, I do want to document certain things, but like I also just when I'm in the moment, I forget to,
Yeah.
or like I just like don't feel the need to
yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah.
But you know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But
you were
yeah.
saying?
Sorry,
I was
what-
saying, I think like when I'm with the person, I'm always like I love taking pictures of them, this and that. I love when like a girl initiates like the whole like I don't think that there's a point. I think both people can soft launch and like post, but
Yeah.
I think when a girl posts her boyfriend and like that kind of gives the boyfriend to green light, like okay, like I can post you too. But I think a
Yeah.
guy posting a girl first isn't necessarily bad. It's just more like
Really?
I don't know. I just feel like the girl takes like the lead on
Initiative.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
wait, like you. Why are you confused
I just
about
like,
that?
well, because I feel like it's like typical that a guy won't post his girlfriend as much as a girl will post her boyfriend. I just feel like that's kind of like a whatever. Like that's just like
Really?
a thing that's talked
I don't
about.
know.
No.
Really?
No, I
You never heard
completely
about
get
this?
where that's coming
No.
from.
I feel like it's like I feel like it's like a common red flag that girls talk about where it's like they're if a guy
Guys
doesn't
post.
want to post you or if he won't
I do.
post
I do.
you.
I
And
definitely
it's
heard
like
of that.
it's
where,
like
the guy
why don't you
doesn't
want to post me? Like who do you not want to see that you have a girlfriend? Like that kind of thing.
See, like I see it from the guy's perspective, where it's like it's not that. It's
No, I know,
like-
but there is guys where it is like that.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there
But
is
that's what
guys
I'm
where it's
saying.
like if you
You just have
if
good
you're
friends.
if you're
Like,
active
like-
if you're active on social media and you like post all the
Oh,
time, but
yeah.
the-
You're
not
the-
posting your
you're
girl.
not posting your girl, that's a little weird. I
I'm
won't
fully
lie.
like obviously if you're kind of like if you're not active and shit, then I'm not gonna expect you to go post me. But like I think it's really nice and cool for you to be like this. Like I have a
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah,
Like, this is my girlfriend. I think
Every once in a
that's-
while type
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
also like keeping things low key. Like I like it to be like everyone knows I have a boyfriend, but like you don't like we can keep it private.
Yeah.
But like you know, like they know I have a man, but they don't need to know much else, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'm like, what if the person wants to post, I'll post too. Like if you post, I'll post at the same
Yeah.
time. If you want us to post more, we'll post more. Like
But
I'm
if she
never
like put
I'm
you
not-
on your story, would you be all giddy and stuff? You'd be all
Oh,
like,
100%. I like.
he's like
I
kicking
mean,
his feet and shit. Like he's looking at his phone. He's like reposting
oh
that
my
shit. He's
God,
like,
bro,
looking
I
at-
love like if a girl posts me on her story just for like a little like why not like soft launch type. I'm like so you literally love me like
Yeah.
you want to marry me.
Oh, you
like this is
love
it.
me.
I'm not going
Aw.
nowhere. I'm also just a very committed person. So that's
Yeah.
like you see. If you do that for me,
But that's also in another way kind of reassuring. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
very,
reassurance.
very
There- well,
reassuring.
there
Which
you
is like
go.
back to our
Back
thing. It's
to-
like
yeah.
that's what we do.
Reassurance.
Like,
okay. Okay. I feel like we're this is I love this conversation, but let's head to wrapping it up. I prefaced this earlier. I want you to tell us. We'll all go through it. But what have you learned about relationships so far in throughout your relationship?
I just think like for me, it's always been like a really fun ride.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I'm this deep into my relationship, this committed into my relationship, and I'm still like learning. I'm still like we're changing along the way, but we're changing together.
oh my god,
and
that's so wholesome.
You guys
I'm like, actually like, damn, bro.
You guys do
damn.
such a good job of growing together, man.
Thank you. I
like-
appreciate it. But yeah, like we literally like, through like highs and lows and stuff like that, both in our own personal lives and in our relationship, like, we always got each other. And I think that's how a relationship should look regardless. And if you don't have that, if there's a feeling that, something's not working where you guys can't grow together, I think the best thing is one to talk it out first, see if that's just like a kink in your journey, and then if it's not, then well, that's another conversation, and maybe. But like, what I would say I've learned so far is that like growing is necessary, and allowing other people to grow is the most important thing in the relationship, you know?
But it's not mutually exclusive. It can be very well done
no,
together.
100%. Thank you. I appreciate it. What?
Okay.
I think there's exceptions to that.
I forgot you have a whole different view on that.
I think there's exceptions.
Not a whole
to that.
different.
But but in your case, I fully
Wait,
support
like
everything you just
what do
said.
you exception in what?
Like in
terms of growing?
I've like
Okay.
very like Shiv knows this because we've had this conversation several times. But
Fair
I've
enough.
been like I'm such a proponent of like I think there's only a certain extent of growth you can do with somebody else. I think, and well, actually, maybe that's not the right way to phrase it. I think that there's a certain amount of growing that needs to be done on your own before you can grow more with someone else. I think
That's
that
fair.
I think a lot of people enter, especially like when it's like really close from exiting a relationship. When the period between two relationships is really, really small, that's when I think this becomes a big, big problem because people are like, "Oh, I can heal while I'm like with this new person," which is like, yes, I guess that can happen sometimes, but a lot
you
of the
have
time
to
it's like
heal
you got to be so for
independently.
real right now. You got to be
Yeah.
on your own and figure your shit out.
You have to heal independently before you can.
Especially like if you take, for example, like I'm not gonna start a whole conversation about this because I could talk about this forever. But like serial daters,
Serial
like,
daters.
and I'm not talking like the ones who go on like dates all the time.
Yes,
I'm
no,
talking
but
people who are
actual
always
serial-
in relationships and they
serial
can't be alone.
relationshipers, yeah.
Like think about it for a second. Why can't they be alone? And like they know that they can't be alone, and it's a problem they have. But it's like they need to be alone to address the issue.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
something
yeah,
you
yeah.
can fix when you're in a relationship. That's a problem you have to fix on your own.
Right.
So I think like,
No,
but
no,
in your
that's-
case
that
scenario, you
makes
guys are
sense.
both secure people, and you guys seem
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
normal.
Well,
and you don't have issues.
Yeah,
So, like,
no, yeah.
for two normal people, that's
I
true.
get
I
100%
agree.
where you come from now. Like that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
I
especially
hear that.
especially for people that get out of relationships.
Yeah.
The growth that you do after that is
Oh,
necessary,
so
right?
important.
And it's necessary for you to do that individually.
Yeah,
and
healing
independently
is such a big part.
before.
Yeah,
before
but I
you
think you
so
can
start
grow.
another
I
thing.
think you
Yeah.
can. I think there's a lot of growing that can be done in a relationship, individually
100%.
and together, and like all of that stuff. I
Yeah.
just think there's certain things about that you can't do when you're in a relationship.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead. You
Wait, what's the question again?
What have you,
What have you learned?
so far about relationships?
I think like I've learned like about maybe not learned. I think I've learned more to not react out of emotion. Like I feel like I've been in the past like a reactive person in terms of like something made me anxious or frustrated or whatever, and I'm like quick to like act out of that feeling. And then in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I don't like how I handled that situation, or like
Yeah.
I wish I just waited and like chilled the fuck out for a second before I said this or whatever, or texted them or whatever.
Right.
So I feel like I noticed now I take a lot more time to just kind of like sit with my shit and figure out what's really the problem and like where's it actually coming from and how much of it is warranted and what's not, and like so that's kind of like
I think that helps also in the
Yeah.
like in the conflict setting at least. It's just
Yeah.
like having all your thoughts gathered and having like an organized kind of way of even expressing your feelings
Yeah.
is definitely important, so that to help the other person kind of understand where you're coming from, you know. So
I just think it's important. Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of like figure out like how much of what I'm feeling right now is rational, and like how much of it, like obviously your feelings are always valid, but it's like they're not always the other person's problem.
Yeah.
You don't always have to bring it to the table in terms of the conversation you're having about the conflict that's
very
like
true.
whatever at hand. Like sometimes you just need to like take your own shit and swallow your feelings a little bit, because like I said, I know I'm an anxious person. Like it's not their burden to bear that anxiety as well. Like I can take it
course.
on my own, and then like we'll figure the rest out later. So that's like what
True.
I've learned, I think.
I completely agree. I think that's very good. To finish it off, I guess I think I'm gonna curate my answer a little bit more to the individual, and what I've learned about, I guess, individually, instead of like in a relationship, but same thing.
That's kind of what I did, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say when and if and when the idea, or even when you're getting into a relationship, I think you should always make sure to show the utmost importance to yourself and prioritizing yourself and your mental clarity and your confidence and your mental health and your needs as well. I think that has helped me through the past 4 years get into better relationships and get better at communicating and get better at understanding understanding other people's perspectives because of how healthy and secure I think I've molded myself to be. Right. I'm far from perfect currently. I'm far from like where I want to get to. I have, very, very weak moments that, I try my best to like learn from and grow from. But I think especially for the other person, it helps a lot when you are strong and you are confident and you show them that, this is what's important to make us work, and like communication and whatever, all the important factors that are important to you. All of that stems from you being a person that is ready for that and being secure and being, molding your mind to being a stronger person constantly. I think it's so important to prioritize yourself going into a relationship because that shows the other person that you are able to not only prioritize yourself, but be open and have enough time and have enough attention, have enough focus and commitment to them because you're so committed to yourself as well. I think a broken person or a person who, not a broken person, but a person who truly doesn't know themselves, or not fully, but isn't in tune with themselves and secure, like I look at you, isn't going to survive in a long. No. Isn't going to survive in a long-term relationship, and I think you can do a lot of it within the relationship, which is where I guess oppose and like not oppose, but where I like kind of think differently in terms of what you brought up. But if
you don't do it with yourself, you're gonna become heavily reliant on your significant other, which is not.
Focus on yourself a lot and prioritize yourself, and always know as well. This might be a little bit like this is just like I guess teetering away, but everything's gonna be all right. I think I've learned that for the past 4 years. Like, that's been a really big mantra that I tell myself. Like, everything will always be all right and okay, and nothing is the end of the world. Time keeps moving.
Right.
Heartbreak sucks. Losing the person that you think you love, losing who you think is your person sucks. But you will always, always, always get better day by day by
Bounce
day.
back.
Always. Yeah. Like, everything will always be all right. You will find yourself through hardship and pain, but everything will always be all right. And if you can, and you're like in like a shitty position right now where you're heartbroken or like you're just, you don't really know who you are, constantly look yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that everything's going to be all right. I'm going to be better day by day. And like something I've known is I'm the only person that I can truly, truly depend on. So that's helped me a lot. And with that, I guess I'll sign it out. And yeah, that was the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. I was giddy through the entire episode, but I'm excited. But that's the end of the episode. My name's Shiv.
My name's MJ.
I'm Sophia.
And peace out.
This was the second take.
Bye.
Maybe.
I was just about to say that. 11:11.
Make a wish.
Okay.
Make a change. And break.